Rare coin collecting. Discover real value and history in every coin.
Next up, most people would never think a 1925 Lincoln wheat penny could be worth serious money. It sounds ordinary, like a coin everyone has seen countless times. And yet this exact penny is still being found today, quietly surviving in collections and change. Because most people completely misunderstand what makes this year and mint special. This is the 1925 Lincoln wheat penny, and its story is tied to survival, scarcity, and the economic chaos of the 1920s. In 1925, the United States was still recovering from post-World War I economic fluctuations. The San Francisco Mint produced pennies in smaller quantities than Philadelphia, and circulation was relentless. Pennies were used, handled, and lost at a rapid pace, which drastically reduced the number of high-quality coins that survived. Most people think the value comes from errors or unusual varieties. That's the misdirection. There's no famous double die or exotic metal for this issue. Low-grade examples are common and worth only a few cents. The real rarity lies in condition and strike quality. San Francisco pennies from 1925 were struck with dies that could wear down quickly. Many coins left the mint with soft detail in Lincoln's hair, cheek, and jaw, as well as the wheat stalk lines on the reverse. Fully detailed examples were already scarce when they were released, and decades of circulation destroyed most of them. Imagine a coin struck early from a fresh die, with strong details on Lincoln's profile and clear, separated wheat lines. It circulates briefly or is set aside by chance, while millions of others wear down to flat, dull surfaces. That survival is what creates real scarcity. Identification is simple. Check the date, 1925. Look for the S mint mark below the date. Examine Lincoln's hair and cheek for detail and the wheat stalks on the reverse for clear inner lines. Original color matters. Red and red-brown coins are far rarer than brown. Weight should be about 3.11 grams, bronze, and non-magnetic. Collectors chase these pennies because condition plus scarcity drives demand. Circulated coins might sell for a few dollars, but higher-grade examples climb quickly. MS 65. Red-brown examples can reach $1,500 to $3,000, and top-grade MS 66 coins have sold for $5,000 or more. Condition changes everything. Every year, these pennies become rarer. Mishandling, circulation, and cleaning destroy potential value permanently. One warning: never clean this coin. Cleaning removes metal, alters surface, and kills grading potential. So if a 1925 Lincoln wheat penny ever comes across your hands, don't assume it's ordinary. Look closely at the details. Survival is the story here, and this is only one example of the many ordinary-looking pennies hiding extraordinary value. Next up, most people would never believe a Lincoln penny from the late 1920s could be worth thousands of dollars. It sounds like exaggeration. It feels like the kind of coin everyone assumes is common just because it's old. And yet this exact penny is still being found today, quietly sitting in collections and forgotten jars, because most people misunderstand why this year and mint are so dangerous. This is the 1929 Lincoln wheat penny, and its story is rooted in economic chaos, survival, and one of the most deceptive forms of rarity in U.S. coin collecting. In 1929, America stood on the edge of disaster. The stock market crash would shatter the economy, banks would fail, and everyday people would cling to whatever money they had. Coins circulated hard. Pennies weren't saved. They were spent endlessly during one of the most brutal economic periods in history. San Francisco struck fewer cents than Philadelphia, and nearly all of them were worked into the ground through daily use. That environment created the rarity. Most people think the value of a 1929 S penny comes from an error or special variety. That's the misdirection. There's no famous doubled die or exotic metal attached to this issue. In low grades, these pennies are common and affordable. That's why so many people stop looking too early. The real rarity is condition. San Francisco cents from this era are notorious for weak strikes and rapid die wear. Many coins were poorly detailed the moment they were struck. Sharp examples were scarce from the start. Now combine that with Depression-era circulation, and the survival rate of high-quality pieces collapses completely. Imagine a single coin struck early from a fresh die, with strong detail in Lincoln's hair, a clear jawline, and full wheat lines on the reverse. It enters circulation briefly or is set aside by chance, while millions of others are worn down. That survival isn't luck, it's mathematical rarity. Identifying one is simple. Check the date. 1929. Look for the S mint mark below the date. Examine Lincoln's hair and cheek for definition. On the reverse, the wheat stalks should show strong inner lines. Color matters enormously. Original red or red-brown examples are far scarcer than brown ones. The coin should weigh about 3.11 grams and be bronze, not magnetic. Collectors chase this penny because scarcity plus history creates demand. Circulated examples may sell for $15 to $50. Higher-grade pieces climb quickly. Mint state coins regularly reach hundreds. MS 65. Red-brown examples can exceed $1,500, and top-grade MS 66 red coins have sold for $4,000 to $8,000 or more. Condition changes everything, and every year these become rarer. Coins are mishandled, surfaces are damaged, cleaning destroys originality. High-grade survivors disappear forever. The population will never increase. One warning is critical: never clean this penny. Cleaning strips metal, alters color, and permanently kills grading potential. A cleaned coin can lose thousands of dollars instantly. So, if a 1929 S Lincoln wheat penny ever crosses your path, don't dismiss it just because the date sounds familiar. Look closely. Survival is the story here. And this is only one example. There are other ordinary-looking pennies from chaotic years still hiding extraordinary value, waiting for someone patient enough to really look. Most people would never believe a penny from the late 1990s could be worth thousands of dollars. It sounds impossible. It feels like something that should still be sitting in loose change everywhere, and yet this exact penny is still being found today, quietly mixed into circulation, because most people have no idea a major mint mistake escaped in plain sight. This is the 1999 Lincoln penny, and its importance has nothing to do with age, metal value, or condition alone. It comes from a die mix-up that was never supposed to happen. In 1999, the U.S. Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents every year. Demand was massive, and efficiency mattered more than microscopic details. Proof coins and circulation coins were being prepared at the same time, using different dies meant for very different purposes. Under that pressure, a mistake slipped through. Most people think the value of a 1999 penny comes from doubling damage or being in perfect condition. That's the misdirection. Those things rarely create serious money for this year. The real rarity is hidden in one small detail on the reverse. A limited number of 1999 Lincoln pennies were struck using a proof-style reverse die that was never intended for circulation coins. On these rare coins, the letters A and M in the word America are clearly separated. This is known as the wide AM variety. On normal 1999 pennies, the A and M are very close together, almost touching. That difference should not exist on a circulation strike. Picture the moment it happened. Proof dies, stored near working, dies. a wrong die installed during a production run. The press strikes thousands of pennies that look normal unless you know exactly where to look. Inspectors aren't measuring letter spacing. The coins are released, mixed with billions of others, and sent across the country. There is no recall because no one realizes the error escaped. That's why these pennies are still turning up. Identification is simple. Check the date, 1999. Flip the coin over and look closely at America. If there is a clear gap between the A and the M, that's the signal. You can also check the FG initials near the memorial. Their position helps confirm authenticity. The coin should weigh about 2.5 grams, be copper-plated zinc, and not react to a magnet. Collectors want this penny because it combines a modern date, a documented mint error, and real scarcity. Ordinary 1999 pennies are worth face value, but authenticated 1999 wide AM pennies have sold for $1,000, $3,000, and in high-grade certified condition, over $7,000. Condition changes everything. Certification changes everything. And every year, these get rarer. Pennies are lost, damaged, or discarded. Errors are spent unknowingly. Once they're gone, they're gone. One warning matters more than anything else. Never clean this coin. Cleaning removes surface evidence and can destroy the spacing details experts need to confirm the variety. A cleaned coin can lose thousands of dollars instantly. So if a 1999 Lincoln penny ever passes through your hands, don't ignore it just because it feels modern. Turn it over. Check America carefully. That tiny gap could be the result of a one-way mistake in minting history. And one of the most overlooked modern penny rarities still hiding in circulation. Next up, most people would never believe a wheat penny from the early 1930s could be worth thousands of dollars. It feels too ordinary, too familiar, like something everyone's seen before. And yet this exact penny is still being found today, quietly sitting in old jars and collections, because most people completely misunderstand what actually makes this year and mint dangerous. This is the 1933 D. Lincoln wheat penny, and its story isn't about flashy errors or secret metals. It's about timing, survival, and condition rarity created by economic chaos. In 1933, the United States was deep in the Great Depression. Banks were failing, unemployment was exploding, and people were hoarding anything with perceived value. Coin production was still high, but coin survival was unpredictable. Pennies circulated hard, changed hands constantly, and were rarely saved in high quality because nobody thought a 1-cent coin mattered. That chaos defines this coin. Most people think the value of a 1933 D wheat penny comes from a rare error or a missing mint mark. That's the misdirection. There is no famous double die or exotic metal tied to this issue. In worn condition, most examples are common and worth very little. That's why people stop looking too soon. The real rarity is condition. The Denver Mint in 1933 produced pennies with uneven strike quality and inconsistent die life. Many coins left the presses with soft details from the very beginning. That means fully detailed, sharply struck examples were rare the moment they were born. Now add decades of circulation on top of that, and the survival rate of high-grade coins collapses. Imagine a single penny struck early from a fresh die with strong detail in Lincoln's hair, clear wheat lines on the reverse, and full original color. It enters circulation briefly or gets set aside by chance. While millions of others wear down, this one survives nearly untouched. That's not luck, that's statistical rarity. Identification is simple. Check the date, 1933. Look for the D mint mark under the date. Examine Lincoln's hair and jaw for sharp detail. On the reverse, the wheat stalk lines should be strong and well-defined. Color matters. Original red or red-brown surfaces are dramatically scarcer than brown. Weight should be about 3.11 grams, bronze composition, and it should not react to a magnet. Collectors chase this coin not because it's rare in general, but because it's rare where it counts. High-grade examples with full detail and original color are extremely scarce. Circulated pieces may sell for a few dollars, but certified mint state examples jump quickly. MS 65 coins can bring hundreds. MS 66 examples reach into the thousands, and top population MS 67 red coins have sold for $5,000 to $10,000 or more. Condition changes everything. Every year these become harder to find. High-grade coins get mishandled. Cleaning destroys originality. Color fades. The number of truly premium survivors only goes down. One warning cannot be ignored. Never clean this penny. Cleaning removes metal, alters color, and permanently kills grade potential. A cleaned coin can lose thousands of dollars instantly. What looks like improvement can erase decades of value. Most people would never think a 1949 Jefferson nickel could be worth thousands of dollars. At first glance, it seems like a common post-war coin, produced in huge numbers and still circulating widely. Yet this exact nickel is still being found today, quietly surviving in rolls, collections, and old change, because most collectors don't realize what actually makes this year special. This is the 1949 Jefferson nickel, and its story starts in the early post-war era, when the United States Mint was returning to peacetime production. By 1949, nickel production was back to normal, but dies were overused, presses were running at full capacity, and small inconsistencies began slipping through unnoticed. These subtle mistakes would eventually create rare coins prized by collectors. Many people think the value comes from minor mint errors or repunched mint marks. That's the misdirection. Most 1949 nickels are completely ordinary and worth only face value. Even examples with minor varieties are often undervalued unless they have exceptional condition or sharp strikes. The real rarity lies in the die quality and strike perfection. The most valuable 1949 Jefferson nickels are those struck early from fresh dies, producing sharp, fully separated steps on Monticello and strong detail on Jefferson's portrait. Most nickels of this year were struck weakly, losing definition quickly in circulation. Coins that survived with full detail are rare and were not deliberately saved. They survived by chance. Identification is simple. Check the date, 1949. Examine Monticello on the reverse. The steps at the base should be crisp and fully separated. Look at Jefferson's profile for sharp hair detail and cheek definition. Weight should be about 5.0 grams. Color consistent with nickel copper, and the coin should not react to a magnet. No complex tools are required, just careful observation. Collectors seek these coins because scarcity combined with condition creates demand. Ordinary circulated 1949 nickels are worth a few dollars. Certified examples with strong detail have sold for $2,000, $4,500, and in rare top-grade cases, over $7,500. Condition changes everything. Certification changes everything. Each year, these coins grow rarer. Circulation erodes details, mishandling damages surfaces, and cleaning destroys grading potential permanently. High-grade survivors are disappearing fast. One critical warning: never clean a 1949 Jefferson nickel. Cleaning removes detail and reduces value dramatically. So if a 1949 Jefferson nickel crosses your path, examine Monticello and Jefferson closely. That small detail could turn an ordinary coin into one of the most sought-after post-war nickels still quietly surviving in circulation.